Good morning from my side as well. As was introduced, Major General Sirel, commanding officer of 1st Estonian Division, and therefore, again, with the overall title of our presentation going to European development strategical outlook, I have to warn you that I will actually drag you to something very tactical level, so that nevertheless, as a point that where I am presenting, so that on what have impact on you, so that as an environment where you will be operate, so that I think it's quite relevant to talking what's military requirements and how the military point of view, so that where the touch points are. But nevertheless, so that of course, as my previous position, I was Estonian Mill Rep at European Union and NATO, so I have been represent NATO. I have been represent Estonian Chief of Defense in the military committees, both European Union, NATO, and period was 21 to 24. So actually, so that everything that you have heard from the European development that Mr. Das was presenting to you, that I can confirm from the military point of view, so that things that importance of that is everything that is coming with the civil defense and how the whole society around operate is, I think, very well understood. So that taking account, yeah, I don't think that, yes, as we are in the plan, as a point where, so that we're doing, I will say that's as a common and similar planning, but urging requirement for the cooperation, so that we can, both the military and civil portion, can do the best in the preparedness and execution of the task, I think is very well understood, that I can confirm to you, so that from both of this organization. But yes, I will be, and I think that it's probably a bit of, I will say a little bit of essence what I will be really say that. And again, I think that as a military commander, and again I will refer to tactical level, preparing for execute my solid task to defend Estonia and partially Latvia as well, so that I definitely have some view and some requirements on where and how I will perform my tasks. So that, and as I'm not doing that one in the vacuum, so there are some of the requirements that we have to do cooperation with other agencies. Again, if I dump to down portion and say during wartime, so that my ideal world might be so that go all the way. So that I need my space, I need to be here alone, be empty, so that I can be best at my task and so perform excellently. So, but I think that reality of this world, so that if we're looking either to the Middle East conflicts or the war in Ukraine, is that we will be never be able to do that task in the vacuum or in the empty space, so that therefore everything that is coming to the preparatory portion is very, very important. And again, I think that that's what done in the previous presentation, so that at the end security of the states is cannot be divided. So that security of the society, security of its behavior or operating in the different sector is actually what is a compose you as a state operating. And I think that military have to understand that as well. So, but let me little bit talk about so that pre-hostilities. Actually, so that a few lines that are brought us as an example could all be brought together with just two words: planning and exercising. And actually, Minister referred to that one, and I think that Hans referred to that one as well. So, but I think that I will be specifically underline a few points really, so that the policy regarding legal framework, it's very important to understand where in the pre-crisis period we are, which rules are applied to different actors in that rooms, so that including actually, so that who is acting as a supporting commander, who is a supported commander. I'm sorry for using a military term for that one. But as well, very important one is application of rules of engagements, particularly so the military force are what we can use in as a force in support as well of civilian society. Then definitely I think it's one of the key questions is a crisis communication, what I have been saying, but it's not just communication out, and it's not that the portion of strategical communication what we're doing. But I think that it's that key for that one is actually the both side, and again, military and civil side. So, and I'll not try to contradict them, so that I'm trying to say that we have to work together. So, but it's that information exchange is extremely important. On the example of, I will be bringing later one example of the exercise, decisive lancer. So that is, I think, that really a very good framework to do a lot of cooperation. So that I think that the first, I will say that the first challenge was to explain that, so that we are in the situation where the war, the hostility will start in 18th day. So that it's not always there, the understanding of what situation are going to develop and what does it mean. So that, and I think that communication, information exchange is a key for anything. I will say that the evacuation from those areas where military are going to perform the task, and then deconfliction of roads and routes, and deconfliction of resources that is connected with that is probably the key point of, so that what military commander requirements are. So that, and it's quite a lot to do in crisis with that one. During the wartime, I will say that definitely this is the continuation of that crisis communication, including the information exchange, situation awareness to the civilians, so that, and including the different notification and other provision of information is absolutely of the key. And definitely, so that from military report and in Estonian context, where the police and border guard units and rescue board units are located in what will become the either battlefield itself or its rear area, so that it's extremely important. And I think that it's probably forming that framework of what from military perspective, so that touch points, I will say, that on which to talk during the periods of the planning. This is important. And as I say that, I understand that you will have later on, so the best practice, but I will share that from the military point of view. Exercise close, decisive lancer, it's an annual exercise. And actually, this is an exercise where we are training and testing pre-hostility period, so that brought in that slide D-18, so that we are clearly pre-war, but we on the way to the war. And that is providing absolutely unique possibility to train the full coordination between the military commanders and then the civil defense actors, being it's police and border guard, be it a rescue board, be it a health board, and be it other institution. And we're going to further develop that exercise. And again, intention is to continue that annual points. And I think that it's a great example, so that what in Estonia we're doing into bringing that civil preparedness and military preparedness to the better level. Because again, I mentioned that organization, but it's as well so that through the particular, so that our territorial defense, it's an involvement as well of the local municipalities in this exercise, so that we're really looking so that how to build that preparedness in the best way. And again, the focus for exercise is going as well onto that pre-hostility, pre-war period, so that even, yes, as a military probably I'm usually very interesting to already to be in the battle and understand what I'm going to there, so that this exercise providing that unique opportunity. And let me share with you some of the lessons that were identified from the division perspective. And actually, they should be echoed on what I said through that requirement prior. And again, as it's lessons identified in the last exercise, let's see how we will do in this year exercise. Actually, Decisive Lancer 25, it's to commence in 3 weeks' time. So that from the Estonian division perspective, so that exercises should be training of the plan. Because of very compressed time, it's not the place where we will start to do planning, but we'll start think so that, okay, what shall I do in the period? It's that place, okay, what is your plan? Take it out and let's exercise it. Because I'm here with my thoughts, I'm putting my forces here, I'm doing some actions. I do have the resources to support you, but actually what you're ready to do with that one. So that is a thing that probably is a key question. So that planning and exercising. Remember I said it's from the previous side. liaison officers. So sorry for the abbreviation, so that this is what we do. So bringing and confusing. LO, it's liaison officers, and are important to the cooperation. So that, and this is definitely, it's a working in the both sides, and we need to share so that those one who are empowered on sharing the understanding of situation in the different level of the headquarters or command nodes. And I think that they are absolutely key. So, but they have to be prepared. They have to have authority to make a decision at the site and explaining what are requirements, what are the support, really to make that coordination and communication in the easy way. Resources are limited, and therefore, so that sharing of them need cooperation. And it's starting from the state level, that is we're intending to do in the decisive answer, and going cascading down, particularly to the regional level. Because it's a little bit coming to my last point, so that again, as a military commander, at some moment, I will take out the units that might provide resources for support of civil defense, so that because they all will be dedicated to the preparation of their wartime execution of their wartime task, because this is my task. So that, and this is not endless resource that could be used. But of course, understanding of that resilience, preparedness, and everything that is coming with that one, so that I'm absolutely dedicated as a military commander in the preparatory phase to those resources that's available, allowed to do the preparation. And then again, I will say that evocation definitely is one of the topics that we have been raised in these exercises. We have been trained in Estonia. It's a very impractical way, and I will be here bring up so that importance of the territorial defense, and mainly Defense League as the organizations through which support to the rescue board have been provided from the military organization, and we're intending to continue to explore that one further. But it's coming to that one, the plans for the evacuation at the local and state level have to be done before those exercises. It's not a room to do that planning during the exercise. So that is important to notify from here as one of the requirements of the military commander. We do have as well, so that, and I will not stop on that one because actually, so that I'm not really can speak much of behalf of Rescue Board, but it's a just notification of that one, that lesson identified from the decisive answer of last year, so that Rescue Board or Police and Border Guard, then Health Department have been drove them, so that, and we are continue work, and right now as we continue planning for exercise decisive answer 2025, so that we think that we will become better on this exercise. And my really, so that a little bit like advertising that exercise, find your partners, find your way to see what we're doing in exercise and use it practice. So, because I think that, as I say, planning and exercising is one of the keys. So that is what we have to do. And again, conclusion, I will say planning touch points should be established already in peacetime, so that understanding the different philosophy of the pre-planning or reacting to something, so that and have to be bring together, understanding the requirement of each other, and I tried to portray you so that from the military point of view, what military commander point of view, what are requiring exercises to rehearse a plan is absolutely key. And I will say as well, then definitely I will underline funny things that is coming with individual preparation of the citizen, because that is as well important. Doesn't matter where in the battlefield they will be then remain. And again, understanding and appreciating what is the tasks of the different structures, organization during the wartime. I think that is as way the way to further build up of the cooperation. I think that in very comprehensive view, so that view of one tactical unit commander, so that, yeah.
Thank you very much, Sirel. I remember that almost 20 years ago, in a small country called Estonia, we spoke totally different languages. It has been a long journey, and it has improved and actually become something very new when we started to talk about the broader state defense. Now, when you look at the devastating situation in Ukraine because of the Russian aggression, whereas the civilians and the civil infrastructure is under the direct hit from the enemy, has it changed also something in the NATO approach or NATO military planning towards the civil defense?
Yeah, as I mentioned, so that and NATO now literally have to think so that on the level of the military committee, I say that yes, okay, on the level of the military committee, so probably currently broader understanding that it's an environment where the military executing their task will be operate, and in some forms, the environment as such and the tasks that are required to do in support or in the protection of the civilian society have been always will be part of the military plans. Because at the end, so that defending Estonia means defending a population. So that at the end, where you will be position your air defense system or where you will position some other protective system is taking account as well, where it's a density of population, where these things are, because at the end they are forming as well your center of gravity, what you would like to try to protect. So that it's never been so that kind of totally away. So that, but I will say the practicality. And I think that now in the particular tactical level plans have become much broader. And unfortunately, so that this is, yes, where we, unfortunately in the terms that we are learning that one from Ukraine in the terms that there is a daily suffer of the people.
That's great. Thank you very much, General. All the best.